343 have finally done something I've been asking for since the start of the game. They added the Squad Battle playlist, which is 8v8 Slayer and objective-based game modes based on some Forge-made Halo 3 maps. This bridges a gap that has been sorely needed in Halo Infinite, because beforehand you either had to do the very competitive 4v4 or you had to do the carnage, which was 12v12 in a BTB game. So this really bridges that gap that the game sorely needed. And it's not just the type of mode that this is as well, it's the fact that they have brought back some Halo 3 classic maps which are tried and tested and have been already a massive success in the game. Now bear in mind these remakes are fan-made and made in Forge, and realistically it's something that 343 should be using more often, because there are tons of really good fan-made, Forge-made maps ready to be put into the multiplayer cycle. Valhalla is a personal favourite of mine that they've brought back, and it can accommodate all different types of combat, whether that's long range with a sniper or close quarters. And they're also bringing back Rat's Nest and Last Resort, also known as Zanzibar. And both of these are very good maps. Rat's Nest is a very rigid and square-based map with some obvious channels on which you would go down. And Last Resort is kind of a bit more of an unorthodox map. It's got a kind of a attack against defense kind of feel about it. And funnily enough, some of my best memories on that map are from Infection. Now, this has been massively overdue. The game is sorely needed this 8v8 that bridges the gap from the competitive nature of 4v4 and the carnage of 12v12. But what it actually is it gives me a bit of optimism, because realistically, this means that 343 are not going to just stick to a strict release schedule and are going to try and surprise fans every now and then. It's a far cry from where they should be, but it's a step in the right direction. And in fairness, I do feel like 343 have started to take more and more steps in the right direction. The release schedule has really picked up since Season 3, and they have really tried to listen to fans and what they've been missing out on for more or less the last kind of couple of years. Now, me saying this, I still feel that the game still lacks maps that you can use vehicles on easily. You know, if I try and use a Scorpion right now in multiplayer, I feel suffocated. Like, there's a lot of small channels for me to go through, which anyone can just jump on and hijack, and realistically, it's just not a practical vehicle to use, or any real vehicle. None of the Warthogs particularly feel amazing on any of the maps. Exception maybe potentially the two new ones, Valhalla and Rat's Nest. Last Resort isn't really a map in which was designed for vehicles, although it does have vehicles on it. I feel like once 343 gets some of these maps where you can properly use vehicles, I feel that the game will be in a place in which I will be very happy with it. Although I still really enjoy the game, the core game is still very, very good, which is why so many people still play it. But it's a far cry from where they were at the game launch, and it makes me quite sad to look at how many people have lost through the lack of updates, lack of content. But you know what? I've still got a positive outlook, and I am hopeful and praying that 343 don't let me down and we get some really, really good updates in the future. And to kind of summarise, this update is a huge step. It's not just a step in the right direction, it is actually a huge step. In fact, I would even go as far to say that them adding this in is potentially the biggest addition they've added since the game launch. I know that's a very, very bold statement, but realistically, this is something that the game has needed since the launch. We have needed more maps on the game. We still need more maps on the game, still need more map variation, but the game is still very good. And the game feels like it's getting closer and closer to where it needs to be. Right now, I feel like the game's where it should have been probably about a year ago. So we are catching up, if it be slowly. And team, I do have a Season 5 review coming out. So if you want to see that, make sure you are subscribed. But make sure that you do check out this video as well, because you are going to really enjoy it.